In preparation for our upcoming discussion about Valiant's third shared universe status, the entire ComicPOP team read a few volumes of the first run of the new Valiant lineup. The ones that stood out to me immediately were Bloodshot Reborn and EXO Man OWar. EXO Man OWar in particular was a character that I remember from my speculator collecting days and that insane Iron Man crossover game. Does anybody remember that? And I figured since I never really knew anything about that character, he was going to be my introduction to the new Valiant U, for better or worse. The story is simple in the best ways possible. The first volume of EXO Man OWar introduces you to Eric, the Visigoth, with a lot to prove against the Roman horde, and oh my god, there's aliens and now they're in space. The aliens, known as the Vine, are using able-bodied human men as worker drones for their colony growth, and Eric leads a revenge-fueled mini-resistance against them. There's some hullabaloo about a prophecy that includes some awesome-looking armor that might be sentient that kills the unworthy warrior, and of course Eric winds up in it, and of course he winds up being worthy, and therefore he winds up killing a lot of bad guy aliens. After some pretty incredible action sequences rendered rather spectacularly by Carrie Nord, Eric winds up returning to Earth thousands of years in the future, which is exactly what would happen if you were taken light years from Earth. It's honestly a pretty fantastic premise that's rendered in beautiful simplicity thanks to Robert Venditti's skillful writing. After getting immediately sucked into the first volume, I was a little disappointed by the shared universe thing the Valiant has going on. I really kind of want to see this fully realized without the need for continuity with other Valiant properties. Now, with that concern being aired, I should mention the direction that's being implemented in these books. The outright aesthetic of the Valiant trade paperback line is perfection. It's what DC and Marvel have had decades to figure out, and Valiant executes flawlessly. There's also a brilliant symmetry and continuity to all the Valiant collective volumes that I wish other publishers would take notice of. All have a color-coordinated design scheme, all have appropriate yet interesting cover art. They even have handy little infographics in the beginning of each volume that, while I'm not really sure it's necessary, is something that I've flat out never seen a comic book do before. And it's done well to boot. I know it's a little funny that I probably spent more time on the overall design of the interconnected Valiant universe's trade paperbacks than I have on its flagship title story arcs or its connection with each other, but I think it's worth mentioning because while the big two release a fair share of work that ranges from fair to great, their aftermarket publishing arm leaves something to be desired. It's honestly more function than form and implies disposability in a medium that traditionally celebrates preservation. And while Marvel and DC have some of the top talent in the business producing not only incredible interiors, but also genre-bending cover concepts, it should be noted that Valiant does quite a bit to live up to its namesake. EXO Man OWar has passed its fourth volume since its revitalization in 2012 and growing strong. If you've been on the fence about these guys, this is a really great, cost-effective volume to dip your toe into the universe. If you'd like to see more in-depth discussions about the Valiant universe, be sure to check out our upcoming Comic Line episode where we go into much deeper detail about the subject. And in the meantime, I recommend you check out even more stuff we have here on ComicPOP by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching.